Hello, good morning, and welcome to our group 5th presentation with the topic Depth of Perception. First presentation will be delivered by Thea Amelia with the topic Binocular Vision. Thea Amelia, time is yours.
Thank you, Robbie. Right, let's move the first topic, binocular cue. I'm Dea Amelia. Here, I'm responsible to present binocular cue, retinal disparity, and steeper function. Binocular vision. A binocular is an optical instrument designed for viewing distant object with both eyes simultaneously. The importance of binocular vision in daily life implies, as well as how dysfunction or disruption of binocular vision can affect visual perception and motor coordination. And next, retinal disparity. Retinol, also known as retinaldehyde, is a derivative of vitamin A and is a crucial component in the visual cycle. It is a light-sensitive molecule found in the photoreceptor cells in the retina. When lacked, definition and mechanism. Retinal disparity is a fundamental concept in psychology and visual perception, defined as the slight difference in the image projected onto its retina due to the horizontal separation of the eyes. The importance in deep perception. The brain employs retinal disparity as a key binocular cue for assessing distance and depth. And next, zipper function. Definition and context. The zipper function is a cognitive mechanism that facilitates the integration of visual information from both eyes, enabling a coherent perception of continuity and motion with our visual field. The term zipper metaphorically describes the process by which disparate visual inputs are combined to form a unified image, similar to how a zipper closes two slides of fabric together. The next presentation will be presented by Maulisa Putri with the topic monocular cue and linear perspective.
Thank you, Dea. Right, let's move to the second main point, monocular cues. I'm Maulisa Putri Hanifah. Here, I am responsible to present monocular cues and linear perspective. Monocular cues are visual signals that enable depth perception with one eye, depicting two dimensions as imaged through various indicators such as texture gradient, relative size, interposition, linear perspective, aerial perspective, placement in a drawing, and motion parallax. This illustrates that the greater the distance traveled, the more pronounced the convergence becomes, ultimately fading into infinity. This idea aligns with the theory of relative size, which is based on our experiential knowledge of how objects retain their shapes at different distances. The first monocular cue is linear perspective. Linear perspective is a visual technique where objects appear smaller and closer together as they recede into the distance, guiding the viewer's eye along a path that suggests depth. This monocular cue enables the perception, allowing observers to estimate distance with one eye and creating illusions like the moon illusion, where the moon appears larger near the horizon due to contextual cues. Linear perspective is crucial in art and photography, helping viewers understand spatial relationships and object arrangements. By effectively using this technique, artists enhance realism and immerse viewers in the scene. Next presentation will be presented by Welinda with the topic interposition and shadow. Thank you.
Thank you, Maulisa. Okay, let's move on to the next topic of monocular cues. I'm Melinda. Here I'm responsible to present interposition and shadow. First, interposition. Interposition is when an object appears between the viewer and a second object, and part of the first object blocks the second object. This first object will be perceived as being closer, in other words. The object that is blocked is considered the object that is furthest away. Overlapping objects usually produce images that contain edges meeting in T-junction. The edge that terminates at a T-junction is the stamp edge. Other effects demonstrate that information provided by T-junction may be supplemented or overridden by the tendency to see shapes that are smaller, simpler, more symmetrical, or more meaningful. Second, shadow. A shadow may be a variety in irradiance from a surface caused by obstacle, by a misty or semi-opaque question. Shadow need mass or vitality, meaning they cannot move or experience change just like the object that casts them. A shadow gives data, almost the shape of the unquestioned as it were on the off change, that the curse of light and the introduction of the surface upon which the shadow is cast are known. A shadow gives by unquestioned onto itself or onto another protest is known as withdrawn shadow. A confined shadow can have a hue. Shadow play a significant role in perceptual experience, aiding in the understanding of an object's material characteristic, such as shape and texture. Next presentation will be presented by Rosie Novitri with the topic texture gradient and motion parallax.
Thank you, Belinda. Right, let's move on the next topic of monocular cues. I'm Rosino Fitri. Here I'm responsible to present texture gradient and motion parallax. Texture gradient is the slope and direction of a local texture. Gradient indicate the surface slope and direction relative to the visual axis. To interpret aspect ratio as a cue to inclination, the shape of the texture element must be known. Example, assuming bricks are rectangular. Aspect ratio gradients can indicate the magnitude and direction of 3D surface curvature, assuming the actual element's aspect ratio is constant. Changes in texture gradient indicate changing surface inclination, even without prior knowledge of texture element shape. A change in gradient slope, such as a change in surface slope. Gaps in a constant gradient may indicate steps or discontinuous on a surface. Motion parallax refers to the relative motion of the image of objects at different distance that is caused by motion of the observer with respect to the objects. For two objects separated by a fixed depth, parallax produced by a given motion of the observer is inversely proportional to the square of the viewing distance. These geometrical relationships are analogous to those for binocular disparity. Perception of the distance of a single point from motion parallax requires about the motion of the retinal image, the A in the head, and the head on the body. Not surprisingly, parallax is not an effective source of information about the distance of a single point. However, the complete three-dimensional structure of a scene can be recovered from just three views of four non-coplanar points, or from just two views of 8 points. Thus, with multiple views, only visual information is required. Next presentation will be presented by Esa Fadila with the topic extrasensory perception.
Thank you, Rosie. Right, let's move to final topic, extrasensory perception. I am Esa Fadila. Here I am responsible to present recognition, telepathy, conveyance, and psychokinesis. Extrasensory perception is a reaction to an object that does not exist. That is, look at how the nose smells on rose. One can say that a flower is fragrant because the smell another flower. So, ESP is a person's ability to reverse information towards the five senses: hearing, sharing, smelling, tasting, and feeling. This ability allows them to sense things that others cannot see, as reverse information about current, past, and future events. There are serial of ESP. Precognition. Precognition comes from the Latin word pre, which means before, and cognition, which means gaining clarity. Precognition is a person who has this ability to know events that have not yet happened but will happen. Telepathy. Telepathy is direction transfer of thoughts from the sender to the receiver with a sensory communication channel. Hence the name extrasensory perception. Psychokinesis. In contrast to the above, PK is performed in a larger number of experiments. Some synthesis efficient. It's a dependent type of ESP. PK refers to the direct influence on the mental system and external physical object of no physical energy intermediaries. Next presentation will be present by Muhammad Fernanda to sum up the topic conclusion.
Thank you, Esa Fadila. I'm Fernando Robi. In here, I'm responsible to sum up this topic. The perception is ability to perceive the distance of objects and their three-dimensional relationship in space. It allows individuals to judge how far away objects are and to understand their spatial positioning relative to one another. The perception is made possible by a combination of binocular cues and monocular cues. That perception enables humans to understand spatial relationships and interact effectively with their environment. This ability is supported by various mechanisms such as binocular vision, which combine images from both eyes to create a three-dimensional perspective, and monocular cues, including texture gradient, linear perspective, interposition, and motion parallax, which provide depth information even with one eye. Additional factors like interposition and shadows enhance the perception of object distance and shapes, offering a comprehensive understanding of the spatial arrangement in visual scenes. Furthermore, the concept of extrasensory perception, including precognition, telepathy, and clairvoyance, suggests the potential for humans to perceive information beyond traditional sensory input. While such phenomena remain less explored in scientific terms, they highlight the broader scope of human perceptual abilities. Understanding this mechanism has crucial implications in fields such as art, design, and technology, where creating immersive and realistic spatial experience is vital. By integrating insight from traditional and non-traditional perception, this exploration offers valuable contribution to psychology, neuroscience, and applied science, deepening our understanding of how humans process and analyze visual information in deserved contexts. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I'm feel happy to be here and see you guys.